GTA 6 developers have started to respond to GTA 6 AI images.
For posting AI-generated fake GTA 6 images, they admitted to using copyrighted Rockstar material in their AI creations, which is something we've talked about in a previous video of how insane this is getting and how this is becoming a Rockstar problem and why we need to hear from them sooner rather than later. Well, it turns out that was fake, and it was just generated with ChatGPT. We need Rockstar Games to give us something soon because it is just getting out of hand with the fake leaks, with the AI-generated content. We need some real GTA 6 content soon, and I think we might be on the...
We do have some important updates today for you guys, and it seems like Rockstar has actually hit the AI leakers. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we have received multiple images on this channel with GTA 6 leaks, but instead it was Take-Two fake GTA 6 AI images. Now, why haven't they done this before, you ask? That's what we're going to be diving in. But seems like that the creator has issued a response. Hello, everyone. As you probably already know, if you have him on Discord, I received a cease and desist letter to my Take-Two regarding my recent fake GTA 6 AI images. I want to clarify that the use of Take-Two or Rockstar Games intellectual property is strictly prohibited and may violate copyright laws. I'm guessing he probably got forced to put that on, exact penal code to not get sued to dust. We have reached a resolution where I need to make a public apology for my actions, including disrespecting the Rockstar Games team and the work that they have been doing for over the past 7 years. So here it is. I sincerely apologize to Take-Two for a wrongful use of their copyrighted materials and registered trademarks. I acknowledge that training AI models with protected content may violate applicable laws and regulations. I encourage others not to engage in the actions and compromise authenticity, ethical standards, or fair use of AI. From now on, I will stop posting that this might seem controversial, such as fake AI-generated images or anything that could be mistaken for Grand Theft Auto 6 leaks. If you guys don't know what happened, is basically there was a huge area where a creator was making leaks and they got suddenly viral. Now, the issue with this is while us watching the news, we know it's fake. We know it looks fake if you've been playing GTA 5, GTA, in general for a long time online. But for the general, 90% of the audience, the first thing they see AI is now so believable, this might be real. And I think this is where the big problem comes in, is that Rockstar, just before they're about to launch the biggest hype wave ever, don't want people to basically go ahead and believe that these leaks are real, which they look way worse than the original GTA 6. And I'm guessing, nothing in the leaks will happen in the story. And because we are so close to the updates, people started believing that these are real leaks and these are actual photos from the game, and this actually happened. And this is where Rockstar has a problem, where a lot of these leaks, are, for example, with Donald Trump, or they're with a famous politician, and this has nothing to do with the game. It's going to be completely different than that, and we're getting all of this info that we had from trailers so far, which I'm guessing is less than 1% or maybe 0.5% of the actual game we have right now. So I think it's very important to know that right now the GTA 6 leaks and leakers are getting their fair share of copyright strikes.
Red Dead Redemption 2, and it might not necessarily be trailer 3 is the first thing we get next. There's a handful of other things that actually could happen before trailer number 3, which might actually be refreshing, because pretty much the only time Rockstar Games has made a Grand Theft Auto 6 announcement, it's either been a delay or a trailer. And yeah, the second trailer came with the website, but it was the trailer that everyone was excited about. So some information other than that could be pretty cool to see. And again, in a video I'll do in a few days, Rockstar Games soon. We're only a couple of days away from the end of the month, and once May gets here, that's when we can probably expect to hear officially from Rockstar. That's what they actually did in the past with their 2 previous games, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Now, I think it's also very important to note is that AI, why has this not been bad before? In 2022, we got a lot of leaks. In 2023, we got a lot of leaks. Why is it only in 2026 that we are actually getting a lot of cease and desist from Rockstar? Well, we once saw that when the Rockstar actually did get a huge problem with real leaks. That's what happened, and that's when they actually took action, as they should have. But the other problem we have with a lot of people is right now the AI is getting so advanced that you can't recognize what is real and not anymore. At first, I thought it was real, and I have been in the AI space for years. So it really makes you consider what is next for GTA 6. There's probably going to be way more leaks like that, but it's kind of like Rockstar sending a message: don't mess with us or you will get the sword. So I think it's a very fair statement that Rockstar wants to start promoting GTA 6 without any AI lowering their quality of the game. Imagine if someone saw that and decided, hey, this is AI, they're using AI to make these photos, I'm not going to buy the GTA 6 game. So from a business perspective, I totally understand and respect that, obviously. But another thing that's probably happening is, yeah, GTA 6 might be getting into those stages now where we finally get more info. And this is what people have been waiting for, where basically in a dry spell, so to say, where 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, there was absolutely no info other than one trailer. And it really made people impatient, like we got delayed and that's all. So now finally, at least we're getting some proper updates, which I will keep you guys updated.
Interactive, and they had to publicly apologize for posting AI-generated fake GTA 6 images. They admitted to using copyrighted Rockstar material in their AI creations, which is something we've talked about in a previous video of how insane this is getting and how this is becoming a Rockstar problem and why
GTA 6 developer replies to GTA 6 rumors and leaks.
GTA 6. And the guy on the left is video game journalist and author Jason Schreier, and of course, the image on the right being the Grand Theft Auto 6 logo. And we'll talk about Jason and what he's done in the past, in case you guys have forgotten. But the response was actually pretty interesting because someone from Rockstar Games directly chimed in, and this is what they had to say. They said, nah, we don't want him snooping to our company and project. So a pretty simple response of their disapproval of Jason Schreier and some of the reports that he's actually done. But what was very interesting is just mere moments after posting that, it was removed and their X account was also deleted. And this individual in particular is a lead character artist at Rockstar Games in India, and they have worked on Rockstar's last major title, Red Dead Redemption 2, as a lead artist for the main characters. So this
Welcome back, everyone. We do have some juicy drama, and this time it's about GTA 6 post. If you haven't saw it on X, basically one of the video game journalists wants to get more info on GTA 6 like all of us. And there was a post where people wanted him to reveal more about GTA 6. Well, someone from Rockstar actually replied to this and in the end deleted their account. Maybe they didn't think it would get this popular, but it did. And I feel like my theory is why he deleted this is because Rockstar has very strict NDAs on posting this type of stuff. There's for a reason why we don't have much GTA 6 news, because if someone from Rockstar was to actually leak something, they would probably be getting sued absolutely to oblivion. And secondly, I also think multiple Rockstar projects or GTA 6 projects, such as, for example, the water system or, for example, GTA 6 missions, are split in different areas. So if something does leak, the whole game won't leak, but only parts of the game. That would definitely make sense. Now, in other news, we also have a lead developer talking about music, which is something I'll get later on, and about how free they can be developing GTA 6. This is a similar approach we saw with other video game developers where they just let them make good content the way they want, which are very experienced in the industry, paid well, eat well, to create an awesome game. They're not, holding their hands, and I think that's a really amazing part. But I also feel like that the most important thing that right now we are seeing is this is the biggest use
have. This was Rob Carr, who's an audio designer at Rockstar Games, working on LA Noire, Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2, and Grand Theft Auto 5. And a couple of weeks ago, he did an interview on YouTube, and this is what he had to say about Rockstar's process.
What are the constraints that we have here? And you're given technical limitations. Yes, like, okay, well, each sound bank has to be X, Y, and Z. Like these are your limitations for every mission. These are the technical constraints. Okay, well, what's the creative constraints? There isn't any. Go nuts. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, what it means is like, okay, well, if you want to do footsteps and you want 10,000 different unique sounds for that, go nuts, because we'd sooner have lots of things and then pull back on something if we don't need it. Like, yes, you did 10,000 footstep sounds. Do we need 10,000? Probably not. Okay, well, let's just limit it to about 100 then. Fair enough. But if you go the other direction too much, okay, I have 5 footstep sounds. We're going to need more than that because it's going to get a bit old a bit quick. I'm really struggling for time now. I don't know. So that it was always like, it's easier to dial it down, dial it back, go too much and then strip some fat off than it is to not do enough and then have to push for that extra 5 or 10% at the end of the project.
And sort of merging those two topics of leaks and Rockstar Games responding, this is something that blew up over the weekend. If you've been following Grand Theft Auto 6 on social media, you saw probably...
On here, I'm just really glad that GTA 6 developers have the creative freedom. It just means that they can make the game as creative as possible, which is crazy to see because a lot of game developers have been leaving in the past since, they made an awesome product and it ended up getting scrapped or not in the game's vision with the management. And I think it's a pretty important factor that GTA 6, is more about, let's add high quality content, let's add more and more content, and let's make it detailed as possible. And then let's decide if it's too crazy for the game or if it doesn't suit the game. And I think that's what's really amazing. Like, you would rather have 70% of the buildings, even if some of the buildings, might not be super detailed or might not have everything inside. I think it's still awesome that you can enter the buildings instead of having like maybe only 10% or 20% of the buildings enterable, and that's, with missions only, which makes it kind of crazy. So I'm definitely thinking here, now the developers are in a good position. We have been getting in the last few months. There wasn't any GTA news that often, and this definitely tells me right now that GTA 6 is closer than ever. Personally, I think we could be getting some more info around May or June, actual official info that we have been waiting for. But it also tells you that a lot of people do, your voice kind of matters when you work for GTA. Like, he didn't want that to become famous, yet it did, and you have to be careful what you post on the internet for this explicit reason. Now, I do think that this is just the start of something big. Like, obviously, we couldn't be looking too much into it. Maybe, he didn't want to represent Rockstar's opinion, but what we have right now is just like something we've never seen before. GTA 6 leaks. They want to stay hidden for a good reason. GTA 6 leaks are great for the community, but they're actually bad for the sales. They generate a lot of the hype, but it reveals a very important factor that developers spent months working on the game. So I'll keep you guys updated with more news on that, but I think it's pretty important to say that right now, the lead developers in GTA 6 are probably most likely not going to be talking about GTA 6 openly. Don't expect any more news like that. I think he even would have deleted it for this same reason. Maybe he could talk about it, but he deleted his entire Twitter account, so there's no way to reach him, talk about it. And I think for a good reason, this man should, maybe he had the second thought. Maybe he didn't want to hear anything about it anymore, or maybe he just didn't, it didn't imply what he wanted it to imply. And personally, GTA 6 leaks are definitely awesome and for the community to generate hype. But I don't know how they do, in the long term. We already saw with AI how much hype it got just because some people believed it's real and then others had to come in and say, hey, this is fake.
Gameroll posted a PSA on Twitter just a few days ago, and you can see it right here on the screen. He said this is a PSA
GTA 6 is under a massive pressure.
Conversation about what this means as we get closer to launch, because right now it's fun and mostly harmless. But let's be real, in a few months, it's going to become a genuine problem, and the person who actually flagged it best was Gameroll. Gameroll posted a PSA on Twitter just a few days ago, and you can see it right here on the screen. He said this is a PSA for everybody to become extra vigilant regarding AI images of GTA 6. Each time a new model drops, they become even more believable. There's only 7 months to go, guys.
GTA 6 is having a huge problem right now, and that is by itself GTA 6 leaks. And I know what you're thinking, GTA 6 leaks. Wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. Hopefully we get the new map shown. But in fact, we are getting a completely different story. We are getting AI-generated leaks. Again, a lot of you don't like AI slop, and I totally understand. It's not fun to look at. But these leaks that we saw so far look incredibly realistic. Now, this actually creates two sides to the story, or, a double-edged sword. So what I mean by that is, on one hand, we are getting closer to understanding what GTA 6 will look like, and the creativity to this is absolutely amazing, especially with the content we already have and animating it, such as, for example, trailers and, sometimes AI making more content. But on the other hand, it also creates a lot of false perception. A lot of these AI images that we're seeing in GTA 6 will have nothing to do with the base game. And it makes me scared. It also kind of ruins the expectations of people who are waiting for GTA 6. They're expecting so much more from the game. And I think this is the big problem. Right now, what we are seeing for GTA 6 is a massive issue. We are going to be seeing more and more of these leaks popping out as we were seeing the last few years. Now, this turned as AI increased more and more from simple leaks, such as, for example, a map leak in Disneyland, to actual.
Right now, AI image generators are working primarily from Trailer 1 footage and Trailer 2 footage, and of course, the 70 official screenshots. That in total is a limited data set. The outputs look impressive, but they have consistency problems because there's not enough source material for the models to fully nail the game's visual language. When Trailer 3 drops, which we believe will be coming in the first or second week of May, that is going to change everything overnight. Within hours of the trailer being public, people will be feeding it into every AI image tool available. Within days, the models will have been fine-tuned on the new footage, and the quality of the fakes will jump up immediately and dramatically. Then comes the gameplay trailer later in the summer, then the GTA Online reveal, then the launch
Actual leaks of the gameplay or actual leaks of the images on the waiting screen. And I think it's very important to note that, Rockstar has been very open about AI. They have said that they are not going to be replacing AI with artists, which is what a lot of AAA games have been doing, like Call of Duty. I think it's also very fair to note that right now, GTA 6 is the most hyped game this year. So you will never have a more hyped game in the next decade or so. This is probably more than $3 billion in budget to just create this game alone. And a lot of people are waiting for it, very, very expected. So just know that, a lot of streamers have been talking about these leaks because we haven't been getting a lot of news.
for everybody to become extra vigilant regarding AI images of GTA 6. Each time a new model drops, they become even more believable. There's only 7 months to go, guys. And that is a really important thing to say right now, because Gameroll is not someone who panics or overstates things. He's one of the most grounded voices in this community, and when he puts out a PSA like that, it's worth paying attention to. The specific line I want to focus on is the each time a new model drops, they become even more believable. And that's really the big part of this whole conversation. This is not a static problem. It is a moving target, and the target is moving fast. Here's where I think the conversation needs to go a level deeper, because fake leaks and fan-made images are not new. They existed before RDR2, they existed before GTA 5. Community artists have been making convincing fake screenshots for years, so why is this different? The difference is the tooling. Before generative AI making a
Now, my personal opinion is that May 23rd, or when the previous GTA should have released until it was delayed, we'll finally get at least a trailer which we can break down and analyze. I'll be very disappointed if that does not happen. But we also have the speculated GTA map. People got over ahead and actually started making a map of the frames, literal frames, not even seconds, of the footage we saw so far, or some images. And I think it's important to say that this is going to be, a very, very big thing. As soon as we get some real gameplay, all of these AI leaks will get blown off the water. They'll probably be reposted everywhere until the game gets released. They'll just, kind of